The International Vulture Awareness Day is a global day being commemorated annually on the first Saturday of September to celebrate the bird species with rare nature. Vultures are called sanitary officers because of the cleanup services they render to the ecosystem, and they are the only scavengers that feed on carcass without emitting any disease back to the environment. In 2006, according to IUCN, they were on the threatened list but moved to critically endangered in 2017. They are at the verge of going into extinction. To avoid another pandemic, we would need to jointly intensify awareness campaign on vulture conservation in Africa. Africa has about 11 species. 7 are found in Nigeria. The commonly found are being threatened is the hooded vulture. To discuss with us, let's join the Director, Technical Programs, Nigerian Conservation Foundation, Dr. Joseph Onoja. Good evening, sir. All right, glad to have you join us, sir. All right, so let's get to it. Vultures are cleanup sanitary officers. Why do you think we need to celebrate these birds that are only known for feeding on corpses, sir?
Yeah, vultures are very important, and there are a lot of myths surrounding them, and that is why we try to create awareness. That's why it's important for us to, a day like this to be set aside so that we can create an awareness about vulture species. As you rightly mentioned, being the bird species that is the obligate scavenger, they help in cleaning up carcasses before these carcasses deteriorate into producing bacterium spores that can cause diseases such as cholera, anthrax, tuberculosis, and beauty. So nature has put them in place to help us clean up before they degrade into issues that may cause diseases to us.
Just to pick up from what you said, conservationists like yourself have said that vultures are now the most threatened group of birds in the world. Even populations of many of these species are under pressure, and some of them are facing extinction. So how ecologically vital will you say they are to the environment, and why exactly do we need them?
You see, as I mentioned earlier, they help in saving the government. Let me even start from the government. In saving the government millions of naira in terms of, sorry, please, I'm in the car. Millions of naira in terms of healthcare costs. Okay. In terms of healthcare costs. Okay, I will. In terms of healthcare costs, because like for instance, in India, it saves the government about $1.6 billion every year, because they realized that when there was a decline in vulture, the rate of rabies and other infectious diseases increased, and that caused the government increased money in healthcare. So their importance in the environment is that they help in cleaning up carcasses so that they don't cause those diseases to humankind.
The belief system in Africa, it's believed, or in some cultures and some religions, it's believed that vultures, when you see a vulture in your dream or you see a vulture in front of your house, it's a bad omen. What can be done to actually, turn the mind of people, from this type of belief?
Yeah, it is part of those things that is making us to create awareness on some of these things, because these are myths. Vultures are seen as mysterious birds, and something that we don't know, we just try to give the meaning that we have to that thing. And that is exactly what has happened to vultures. And because they're always seen around carcasses, people look at them as bad omen, not knowing that nature has put them there to be able to clean up the carcasses for us. So they'll be able to help us to do those things. So that's why we need a day set aside like this to continue to create awareness. And one of the ways we do it is to do an ecosystem service analysis so that people will know that vultures are important to their health. They have direct impact in us. So with that, we'll continue to change people's mindset from the belief that they had about vultures, that vultures have needs and mysterious, to seeing vultures as very, very important in the ecosystem, not only to save us from diseases, but also as part of the species that God has created in the ecosystem. They are not bad birds at all.
Before you go, is it advisable to keep a vulture as a pet?
No, it's not advisable, because when you keep it as a pet, you will not allow it to perform its ecosystem function. So it's better to allow it in the wild so that it will continue to perform its ecosystem function.
So much, Joseph. All right, thank you for your time. That was actually Dr. Joseph Onoja, the Technical Programs Director, Nigerian Conservation Foundation.